Good morning, beloveds. So, yesterday the live stream was weird because the go live option disappeared from my phone app. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So, I did it from the iPad. So, that's why the video was a little weird. So what I did was I rebooted my phone a little bit later and then double checked, and it came back. So, I don't know what was going on. It was weird. But it did it to David about a week ago, so it must be Facebook tweaking something with a mobile app. Yay! I'm just glad I had an option to do it and didn't have to put it off. But yeah, that's what was going on. And then this morning I went for a walk, as I do on Friday. We either bike or walk on Friday mornings. It just depends on what time Tom goes to work. And so I went for a walk this morning, and a couple of interesting things happened. One, I walked past a yard and was definitely being watched. There were 3 very attractive cats that were watching me, and I got a really good picture of one of them and cute pictures of the other 2. They wanted nothing to do with me, but they were just like, oh, you're there. Let me watch you walk by. And the other thing is I kind of walk an infinity loop around in my neighborhood. We have kind of circles. And I live in a cul-de-sac, and so I walk the big loop, and then I walk this little neighborhood, and then I come back and I walk the small loop, then I get back into my cul-de-sac. And so as I'm walking, I'm on the little loop, and it's starting to drip. And I'm like, well, I could just go straight home, but it'll hold off for 10 minutes. It'll hold off for 10. That's all I need, just 10 minutes. Yeah, no. I get to the back of the loop where literally my house is right here, but there's houses. There's no way for me to get there because there's no cut through because I live in a cul-de-sac. And I can see it. It's raining on the other half of the road. And I'm like, well, I can either turn around or I'm just going to push forward because I assume that the rain is moving towards me. There's no point. Yeah, if I had turned around, because when I got around and I did get damp, there's enough trees that I didn't get that wet. As I turn and I'm walking down the street to turn into my cul-de-sac, I can see where the rain stops, and the rain stopped right there at the other, where I turned up in the little loop. I'm just like, really? Really? So it was raining one street. It wasn't raining one street down. This is my life. But obviously I needed the shower, so, it's all good. It wasn't raining that hard. And like I said, there's plenty of trees in my neighborhood. So that was my adventurous morning. I hope that you have a good adventurous day, kind of like that. Not necessarily with rain. I mean, I like being in the rain, outside of the fact that I had my phone on me. I didn't want it to get wet, and it didn't. All right, beloveds, it is May 28th. Our title is I Use Divine Power in Practical Ways, and Right Action Prevails in My Affairs. The Bible quote is, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. And that is Mark 11:24. There could be no more explicit technique for effective prayer than this laid down by the Master himself. We actually are to believe that we already possess the object of our desire when we ask for it. We are to accept it even as we believe in the harvest which follows the spring planting. Therefore, every spring should be one of hope and every harvest one of fulfillment. We must learn to accept the good we desire and affirm its presence in our experience here and now. Realizing that there is a law of good that governs my affairs, I loose every thought of doubt, fear, or uncertainty and accept the good that I desire, here and now. Realizing that this law of good not only knows how to create, but must contain within itself all the details of its own creation, I let go of every thought of outlining and accept the perfect answer today. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy because of this, I live enthusiastically and with calm and happy anticipation of more yet to come. Because there is no sense of strain in this, I relax in quiet contentment, while at the same time realizing that the law of good does for me what the law of good does for me, it must do through me. I declare that I not only know what to do, but I am impelled to act, to move objectively. For this is not a dream I am entering into, nor an escape from any present condition which is unhappy or unwhole. This is reality. This is really an act of fulfillment, the moving into a greater sphere of action and life with certainty, calm, confidence, and limitless trust. Today, everything in my good shall be reanimated, reborn, and increased. Gladly I accept my good and place no limits on the divine givingness. All right then. Pray for what you want and then believe that it already is there. And how do you do that? How do you have the faith to do that? Well, one, you have to have faith. And I like to describe faith as imagination plus trust. Okay? You imagine that which you are desiring. If it is a material thing, or if it is a state of consciousness, or even a state of the world, you imagine that, and then you trust that it is, if not here already, on its way. It is on its way. And Einstein said there's no better use of imagination. Worry is a misuse of imagination. Why not imagine a better world? Because according to science of mind, according to what we believe, everything that could possibly exist already does in spirit, in idea. It may not yet exist in form, but it already exists in idea, which means that when we spark the desire for whatever it is that we are asking for, God's already got it. Spirit's already got it. But now Spirit has the spark that goes, oh, it's time. Because God doesn't know time. God says, well, I have this idea and you have this spark, and clearly this is meant for you. So now you have sparked the idea and God puts that into motion. The law, God puts it into motion. Spirit puts it into the law, which then puts it into motion, which then brings it to you. Now, things may have to happen. You may need to be guided to go or do or say. Or you may need people to be guided to do or say. So that it all comes together. Which is where time moves in. Because we are time bound. God is not. So that's how you can do that. How you can pray for something knowing it already exists. Because it does in idea. It does in spirit. It does in God. Because God isn't bound by time. And if that helps, then good. And if it doesn't, we'll find something else. But that's what helps me. That is what helps me. To know that if I decide that because if you had the chance to watch one of our soul sessions with Miyoki Shonin, she is a Buddhist, she's a Nichiren Buddhist bishop, actually, not just priest, but she was talking about that better world. And she says, I have to believe. I have to believe. So it already exists. We're just working on getting it into form. And it does mean a whole lot of people are going to open up to who they are. Open up to that child of God that they are, to create that better world. She has to believe that it exists, which means it does. It does. It already exists. We're just working it into the material world. We are all upping our commitment to spirit and opening up to who we are as children of God. So it does exist. That's our faith. So I use the divine power in practical ways, and right action prevails in my affairs. Why wouldn't we use it in practical ways? I mean, we can also use it in fantastic ways, but every day, everything you do, you are using that divine power. Now, does that make you stop and think when you're washing dishes? I'm using divine power to wash dishes. Absolutely, you are using divine power to wash dishes, because you are a channel for divine power. Practical ways. What things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and ye shall have them. It is a quote from Mark 11:24, but it is Jesus. That is a direct quote from Jesus. One of these days, I'm going to get the Red Line Bible, where everything that Jesus said is in red, not what is attributed to him, but what he said. So, there could be no more explicit technique for effective prayer than this laid down by the Master himself. So, Jesus. We actually are to believe that we already possess the object of our desire when we ask for it. It already exists. We possess it in spirit because we had the idea. We already possess it in spirit because we had the idea. And once we've had the idea, once we've sparked the idea, then the law takes over. We are to accept it even as we believe in the harvest which follows the springtime planting. Therefore, every spring should be one of hope, and every harvest one of fulfillment. Every time you plant a seed, then you have faith that it's going to grow into whatever it is, whatever seed you planted. And it's going to grow into that plant. It's not going to, you don't plant tomato seeds and get eggplants. Doesn't happen. We must learn to accept the good we desire and affirm its presence in our experience here and now. And there he's going, all right, you got to accept it. You got to accept it. It's great to expect things. It's great to expect things. And that is a very important part of the process. But you also have to be willing to accept them. How big is your cup of acceptance? Realizing that there is a law of good that governs my affairs, I loose every thought of doubt, fear, or uncertainty and accept the good that I desire here and now. Right now, right here. Bring it on. Bring it on. Realizing that this law of good not only knows how to create, but must contain within itself all the details of its own creation, I let go of every thought of outlining and accept the perfect answer today. Meaning, I let go of the how. My job is what? This is what I want. And then I let go and let Spirit figure out how. Because Spirit has this infinite variety of ways of bringing to us that which we desire. When we tell Spirit how it has to come, we limit Spirit. What's the point of that? Spirit will still do it, but it'll take more time. So we got to learn to let go and let God. Learn to let go and let God. Yeah, where did that come from? You say what? Spirit says, I got the how. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy because of this, I live enthusiastically and with calm and happy anticipation of more yet to come. So that's my job. My job is what? And then to joyfully and happily anticipate. To wait. Because my feelings around what I have asked for are what fuels Spirit. If I really, really want something, then there's going to be a lot of emotion around that, and that's going to be just that flashing sign to Spirit going, yep, we're serious here. If we state that we want something, but there's not a whole lot of emotion around it, then Spirit goes, oh, okay. And if we state that we want something and there's no emotion, then Spirit isn't even going to take a notice of that. And it doesn't just have to be, here's the caveat, it doesn't have to just be happy emotion. Any strong emotion will get Spirit's attention. So when you are angry about something, Spirit sees that. Spirit sees, well, there's a whole lot of emotion there. I need to give him that. So when you are angry about something, and I'm not telling you not to be angry, because there's a whole lot of power in angry. But if you are angry about something, a situation, then make sure that you are focused on the solution, not the problem. All right? Because if you are focused on the problem, then Spirit will bring you more of that. If you are focused on the solution to what the problem that you are angry about, then Spirit will bring you that. All right? It would be great if we could always be happy and joyfully anticipating things, but occasionally, there are going to be situations that we're really angry about, and Spirit is going to take notice of that. So we just need to make sure that we are directing that energy to the solution. That's my suggestion. And it works. And it works. Because there is no sense of strain in this, I relax in quiet contentment while at the same time realizing that what the law of good does for me, it must do through me. Okay, so I have stated that I want this. Then I get to listen and pay attention and accept the guidance, because I can't just sit on my couch and expect Spirit to bring it to me. Sometimes I have to accept that Spirit is going to get me up off that couch. In fact, most of the time, Spirit is going to get me up off that couch, and it's going to tell me to turn left instead of right today. And I turn left and I drive right into my good. But I have to be willing to listen. I have to be willing to be guided. I have to be willing to be directed. And I have to trust. So it does for me what it does through me. I declare that I not only know what to do, but I am impelled to act and move objectively. This is not about ego. This is about listening to something bigger than us. For this is not a dream I am entering into, nor any escape from a present condition which is unhappy and whole. We are never escaping conditions. What we are doing is providing the solution to work through them. Because if we just escape a condition, there's always the possibility that we could get trapped back in it. So we're not escaping. We are working on the solution. This is really an act of fulfillment, a moving into a greater sphere of action and life with certainty, calm, confidence, and limitless trust. Spirit is unlimited. Therefore, there is a part of us that is unlimited as well. That is limitless. Spirit is limitless. There's a part of us that is limitless, and that is the part of us that trusts. That spark within us where we meet the unfiltered God, that's the part of us that's limitless. Today, everything in my experience shall be reanimated, reborn, and increased. Say that to yourself 5 times fast. Today, everything in your experience shall be reanimated, reborn, and increased. Gladly I accept my good and place no limit on the divine givingness. Gladly I accept your good and place no limit on the divine givingness. All right. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it? Well, okay. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to know what to do and know that we are going to be guided to do it. Or maybe I should have said that the other way. To know that we are going to be guided into what we need to do to achieve that which we have asked. We are practically using our divine power. We are practically using our divine power, because that divine power is coursing through us at all times, even when we're washing the dishes, or feeding the cats, or mopping the floor, or doing any of those mundane tasks. Everything we do, we infuse with a little bit of that divine power, or a lot. That is our inheritance. So, as always, I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like today. For me today, I got rained on, and I'm happy about it. Although, after a week and a half of rain, I could have used a few more days. But hopefully, I was watching the weather. It should be a nice weekend-ish. We get through tonight, and maybe a little cooler. So I'm okay with the rain if it cools it down just a hair. Because this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Which, a quick reminder, there are 3 holidays. There's Armistice, maybe? No, I can't remember the name of it. But whatever the name of it, and it starts with an A. It starts with arm. Is to celebrate our men and women in uniform. Veterans Day is to celebrate our men and women who are no longer in uniform but have served. And then the Memorial Day, which is this weekend, is for those who served and gave it up while in uniform. So, yeah, sorry. See the military brat here. Yeah. I grew up in and around the Air Force and have had family members in all branches of the military, including some who Memorial Day is for. So, that is what this weekend is about, but it is also a chance to rest. So whatever it is that you are going to do this weekend, be safe, have fun, enjoy it. I will be on every day at 9-ish. I admit that I'm going to turn my alarm off on Monday. But I'll be here. And I will do this tomorrow, although I'm not sure where I will do it from, because I have an appointment at 9 a.m. So on the other side of town. But I'll still do it. So you just may get it a little early. And from a random location. But that's the fun of this. All right, beloveds. Please remember you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. That is the state of grace that we live in. So while I encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, to get some fresh air, to drink some water, please remember that when I say please drink some water, that's code for I love you. Because I do. Know that you are loved. And while you're getting that fresh air, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. It is a state of consciousness. So look for the good. Because the more you look, the more you see, the more you see, the more there is, because good multiplies that way. All right, beloveds. It's Friday. It is Friday. So I don't know of anything going on tonight. But that's okay, because there are all kinds of really cool things on both YouTube channels. The Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. The Soul Sessions are fantastic. Feel free to go check them out. And all of these are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. There's more than a year's worth of material up there. So feel free to go check that out too. All right, beloveds. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Okay?